guys, thanks for joining me today. Today we're talking about how to raise your emotional intelligence in just a few steps. With this pandemic going on, it's really important that us as leaders take more additional steps to ensure not only the physical health of our employees, but also the mental health is just as important. We want to keep our employees or our teammates engaged, keep the productivity going, and so we've got to get more creative in learning and understanding how to keep our teammates involved and active and sharp so that we can continue to be productive in whatever it is that you're doing. So we're going to talk about emotional intelligence and how important that is. Now, the ability to identify and manage one's personal emotions and the emotions of others will be an advantageous skill for leaders as mental health and depression and loneliness continue to rise in the modern workforce today, obviously because of COVID. If leaders cannot get comfortable wading in the emotional waters, they run the risk of never fully solving the problems of their team or customers because of empathy. And the reason why that is because empathy is a core pillar of emotional intelligence, which is required to fully problem solve. Okay? So, as Bill Gates once put it, actually, he stated this in his 2014 Stanford University commencement speech. In part, it says, if we have optimism and we don't have empathy, then it doesn't matter how much faster we master the secrets of science. We're not really solving problems. We're just working on puzzles. All right, makes sense. Think about that for a minute. Okay, emotions aren't a problem to solve, but it's more like tension to gauge. And how successful leaders manage that tension is with emotional intelligence. So, with that, here are at least 3 steps that you can use to become more emotionally intelligent. Okay, the first one is find your balance of emotions. Find the balance in your emotions. Okay, don't let it get to one extreme or the other, but find that sweet spot. There's a thin line between sharing feelings and oversharing our feelings. Now, while the former builds trust, the latter can erode trust as well. So oversharing can undermine influence and create discomfort in others while also showing lack of, self-awareness. Okay? Most people either let their emotions drive them completely or they do just the opposite and just lock them out altogether. Neither one is ideal, to be honest with you. But emotions help us navigate the world. They shouldn't be driving or locked out, but rather more like a passenger in the passenger seat. Always visible, included, but used for guidance. Okay? It shouldn't control you, but they should be used for guidance. Number 2, strive to be relatable rather than vulnerable. Okay? Emotional intelligence seems to be inextricably related or linked to vulnerability. Now, although vulnerability can be a valuable tool, too often for us leaders, especially, it can position some as weak and erode the confidence of a team. That has been known to happen. So leaders should strive to instead be relatable rather than trying to be vulnerable. Okay? One other thing, well, I'll get to that in a second. But let's stay with the vulnerability or the striving to be relatable. By definition, being relatable establishes a social or sympathetic relationship with others. Asking yourself this, am I relatable? Or what's it like to be on the other side of me? That forces you to consider the circumstances of the person that you're interacting with, which creates an opportunity to empathize. All right? Third and final one, actively listen to understand and identify. Okay? Famed entrepreneur and author Jim Rohn stated this. As a leader, you should always meet or start with people where they are before you try to take them where you want them to go. All right? Too often, people listen for an opportunity to insert their comment or their point or their argument. Instead, emotionally intelligent leaders will actively listen to understand and identify the emotion behind the story or the behavior. Okay? So those are a few steps. Those are 3 steps that can help you become more emotionally intelligent, and also things that you can use with your team to keep them more engaged and more productive, and so they don't have this anxiety of work and not wanting to work, or any other feelings, negative feelings or hard feelings that they may be dealing with. Okay? Balance your emotions, strive to be relatable with your employees, and actively listen to understand and identify so you can be relatable. Okay? And just using these few points, I think, will help you create more of a bond with your team, and they'll be able to open up a bit more, and you can get more out of them on a personal and professional level as well. All right? Remember, the mental is just as important as the physical, and we want to be productive on both aspects. Okay? Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch these videos. I'm sure that if you like them, there are some people in your sphere of influence who would like them as well. So please like the channel, subscribe to the channel, and share these videos with other people in your sphere of influence. And I'm sure that they will get just as much out of this as you do. Okay? And as always, if you need some help, some coaching, we can do Zoom calls, Skype, whatever. With leadership development coaching, remote leadership, which is what a lot of us are doing now, team building, and things of that nature, please contact me. Give me a call, send me an email, respond on the YouTube channel, and I'll get back with you. I promise you, we'll put together a plan conducive for your success and your team's success as well. All right? Take care, guys, and remember, great leadership equals great influence. How are you leading?
Whether you're a new leader who needs the building blocks of leadership and how to be effective, or a seasoned leader who needs to understand that there are 2 sides to leadership, or a leader who just needs some inspiring insight or leadership seeds in order to enhance your leadership abilities, the CDV Consulting Group has the resources you need. There are 2 key elements successful leaders have that the unsuccessful ones don't: self-discipline and the understanding to constantly invest in themselves. So pick up a copy or the entire collection today and start investing in your leadership now. Available at Amazon.com. And remember, great leadership equals great results. How are you leading?